It is being taped live. They used to come down with cameras, recorders, but nowadays it's actually from his house. So the things are on, the cameras are done. So, and occasionally he texts me, we're not speaking loud enough, so I always keep it on. Those reasons. So everyone turn on your microphones before Mr. Vince reminds you.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business tonight will be a couple special reports, of which the first one is my report as the liaison to the Westmoreland County Intermediate Unit Board. And we held our meeting October 17th, 2022 at the IU building. There was 11 board members present, 6 absent. 9 is a quorum, so we were able to conduct business. Executive session was held 6:30, at which we reviewed the 2022-23 executive director's performance goals and progress was discussed some potential hiring and discipline matters, reviewed and discussed the ongoing reorganization of curriculum services department, which could include bringing in additional personnel and expanding some services. We reviewed the status of the ongoing negotiation with the professional employees union contract, that would be teachers. Had discussion of an ongoing shortage of our PCAs was held. There are currently approximately 32 PCAs short, and that seems to be a problem in many districts. We discussed up there a lot of districts having problems keeping their PCAs staffed. But the IU chose to address the shortage temporarily and partially by subcontracting with an organization called Maxim for PCA services. And the subcontracted PCAs are receiving a higher rate of pay than the on-board ones, so that resulted in problems which are being reviewed by staff administration. Next, at 7 o'clock, the regular board meeting was called to order. At that meeting, we accepted one board member resignation and the appointment of a replacement board member. Both were from Bell Vernon School District. Received a brief report on the WIU Foundation, ratified various resignations and retirements and leaves, approved a variety of different agreements, approved several policies. If anybody would like to access the full board agenda, minutes, and a very good detailed net, you can visit WIU website. Next meeting we held on November 22nd, 2022 at the IU facilities. That includes my report on the IU. Mr. Petrucci, you have your report?
Thank you, Mr. President. I am the, for those of you, I'm the liaison for the Career Tech, which is a more professional, more recent name for VOTEC. And there are 9 of us for Central VOTEC. There are 3 VOTEC buildings, 3 VOTEC centers in Westmoreland County. Eastern, which is Dairy, Lake Chove area. Us, which is 9 of us in the Central. And in the western part is called Fort, which is Kiski and Franklin Regional. So that's the, and also Valley. They represent the, those are 3 career techs that we have. Okay, we met on the last Thursday on the 3rd, and the business that we conducted was, the first thing we discussed was the replacement of the officers. The officers, and we have our holiday feast, which is going to be the 8th of December, which is the second Thursday of the month. And as you know, those my fellow board members attended. The food is excellent. The atmosphere is great. The kids wait on you hand and foot, and it's a nice time and very enjoyable. And everybody goes down there well fed. Officers next year, Robin Savage, the president from Greensburg, and Dr. Scott Learn, who happens to be the dentist for the Steelers summer camp, and he's from Hempfield. He's the vice president. Now, also next, motion to approve the cosmetology program to travel to New York City and New York from March 6th through March 8th, 2023, for International Hair Show. The total cost of the trip is approximately $20,000 to be paid for by the activity fund. Each student is responsible for raising their own funds, which may be done in assistance with fundraisers throughout the year. And this is the same thing we've done every year. The girls, not just the girls, I think there's a boy there too, that go in there for cosmetology. We also hired John Weinman for construction trades, annual salary of $62,500, effective immediately, the 3rd. And also we hired Joshua Steiner for a maintenance technician at $15 per hour. Next is Skills USA competition, which is in Seven Springs, which will be on the December 13th. And we now have 51 students signed up. Oh, I'm sorry, let me skip one. And this is for you, Dr. So you guys follow up on it. I see a couple teachers here, administrators here. The 7th grade road show is completed. The final 3 to wrapped up the end of next week. At the end of the month, then they will start their tours. So I don't know, have we included any tours for the
Mr.
road
Simpson,
show,
did you
know?
sign up already?
They're coming, ours are coming in February.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's good. All right.
We work-
Make sure
we're- They come and visit us in February, we go visit them after PSSA testing.
It keeps on increasing enrollment, all right. We are planning a breakfast Santa Saturday, December 10th. And we crossed now the co-op program, which I've been preaching here for a PT. The co-op program this year so far is over 51 kids. Of the 51 kids, there's 12 special needs kids with IEPs. And the kids, which I'm trying to get rolling here again in PT, and I don't know why it went down, but it did go down. Right now, we have 12 kids out with IEPs. Their salaries are between $12 and $18 an hour. So the kids, the program works, it's doing well, and I'm just glad to see it keeps on going. And the emergency vehicle testing will be started Thursday, it already started, October 13th. This is for all emergency vehicles, police, fire, and ambulance. There were 7 career technology cosmetology seniors are taking their Cosmo board prep class in November with Mrs. Nini. These students have completed clinical hours and preparing to take their cosmetology state boards. There are 6 students, October 31st, signed up for the CDL class. Now here's the listing of those 51 job placements where kids are working. Here's the ones that are located in Penn Trafford. Adamson Construction, Best Construction Roofing and Remodeling, Transformation Electric, Cochran Heating and Cooling, Hamill Manufacturing, they have 2 kids. Penn Township Ambulance Service, Pizzani Precision Painting, and the Uber Company. And now, at Mr. Leonard's request, our menu that we gorged on. And the kids feed us, by the way, just so you know our menu.
It's called the Goody Report.
You beat me to this, right? It's a monthly goodie report. Garden salad with homemade croutons and dressing, dinner rolls with homemade butter, cinnamon butter, and herb butter, 3 choice of butters. Wedding soup, roasted carrots, wild rice pilaf, braised steak, Nutella cheesecake, and a cookie tier. And a lot of laidlocks in a cookie tier. They were really excellent. Okay, the holiday feast, and please, I hope we have a great turnout. I'd say all 9 boards, administrators, everybody always goes. If you can enjoy yourself, especially Mr. Lego, who never does show up, and they always ask me where's he at.
It's bowling night for me, I'm sorry. I'm the bowling coach, I have to go to bowling.
Okay, all right. That's all I have. Mr. President.
One thing about the Christmas night at the Career Attack, or the holiday night at Career Attack, they also they go over all the new programs, all the program updates. They also recognize the students, kind of like the Students of the Month, kind of what we do now. So it's more of a good overview of the whole program. The food is also great because the kids prepare the food for the whole day, because all the kids are in the culinary arts program, so it's their skills is put to a test, and they do a great job. So it's kind of nice to see the whole full package come together.
And they come around and wait on you, and there's a chocolate fountain there.
They're very proud. And then we have This year, we have 111 just from Penn Trafford, representing all the different departments, and
It's well attended too by all the board members of the 9 school districts.
I think with the promotion, like we do it in the middle schools with Mr. Simpson and Mr. Sullivan, and then going down there, just to get everyone exposed to it. So, we're very proud of our career tech. And follow up on what Mr. Leonard reported about the WIU, we're very lucky. I know he said they're short 32 PCAs there in pairs. We're only short right now 1 across the district. So if anyone's interested in being a pair, please email harris@pentrafford.org. But we're very blessed to have people in those positions. So thank you, board, for that. All right, did you read executive?
Thank you, Mr. Tracy, and, the next item, to mention, we had an executive session prior to this meeting. We conducted the executive session and discussed legal matters. We also received information concerning updates on the tracks, annual budget process, receipt of grants and donations, and student surveys. And now I will ask Dr. Harris for his information.
All right, and we're going to start off with our favorite time of the month. It's the Students of the Month. Every year, we do about 30 students throughout the whole entire year, but we have almost 3,950 students. So if you do the math, it is very hard to achieve this honor. You've had to do something very special and very amazing because it is so hard to make that selection because there are so many students. But what you do is amazing, and when you hear the reports that each principal reads about your child and why they're chosen, you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, and we also have a time limit for each one because they can go on for longer and longer and longer because what your kids do are amazing. So first off, we're going to recognize the elementary and Mr. Morasti from McCullough.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I'd like to introduce the elementary student of the month. Come on up, Layton. This is probably Layton's least favorite time right now is I've got to stand up here. You can stand right over here, Layton. There you go, right there. Perfect. Layton was very nervous when I called her down to the office. Even after she was told this was for a good reason, it was still a sense of anxiety, right? But it's all good. I'd like to introduce third grader Layton Bratkovich from McCullough. Layton is the daughter of Colleen and David Bratkovich, and she has a brother Cooper who's in kindergarten at McCullough as well. Layton's parents informed us that she is very into sports. She's been involved with competitive cheer since she was 4 years old, and also participates in basketball and soccer. And when she's not participating in sports, she enjoys reading very much. And it's going to sound very similar because when I talked to Layton's teachers, she said that she is a very caring third grade student who always has a smile on her face. She works hard, interacts with her peers constantly, and is a leader to all around her. She has a kind heart and cares for everyone around them. When I talked to Layton, she stated her favorite subjects were science and social studies because she enjoys looking at the maps in order to see where she's going to go. Outside of school, again, she participates in soccer and basketball, and when she isn't playing a sport, she enjoys reading. When I talked to Cooper and I said, Cooper, what can you tell me about Layton? He looked and he said, she doesn't do anything fun. So thank you for that, Cooper. With Layton's positive attitude, kindness, and dedication to do her best are sure to make her a success in whatever she undertakes. Her future is bright and full of potential, which make her the perfect student for this award. Congratulations, Layton, on being the elementary student of the month.
Congratulations, you must be.
At the very end, we're going to take a picture for the paper and the website. Mr. Morasti, do you have any reports about McCullough or what's going on at the elementary schools right now?
What we have going on, currently this week, we'll have our picture makeups, which are typically a big day. As you know, district-wide, this Friday is an in-service day, but for the elementary, it's parent-teacher conferences. The building-wise, we're completing and compiling the necessary benchmarks that we have that are coming up. And then also, this year, we've begun work on the Frosty Festival, which is our Make-A-Wish fundraiser that had been put on hiatus for 2 years, and we're excited to be bringing back. That'll be held on Wednesday, November 30th, from 6 until 8 p.m. And we already currently have 200 parents and students registered for it
my
to
goodness.
attend. So we're looking forward for
A
it.
lot of baskets again?
Yes, we'll have baskets, and district-wide, a bunch of businesses have already jumped in for donations, as well as Aramark here from the school district. So it's been very appreciative and well-received. Everyone's looking forward to it coming back.
It's a fun night.
Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Thank you.
Quick question for Mr. Morasti. We have you to thank for this.
Yes, the hats are for Deer Valley. This year, all of the parents and students and staff that attended will be receiving a tassel cap this year. Typically, it's a T-shirt, but it was something we wanted to do a little different this year. So yes, the Deer Valley experience this year, for those that don't know, was a 3-week adventure. That we took the 6th and 7th graders that had not had the opportunity to go because of the pandemic, and for that, I want to thank Dr. Harris and you, the school board, for supporting that and having the tenacity to say, no, we're going. There are other districts that did not, but you know, to use an analogy from West Point, that's a long gray line, and that line will continue of students graduating that have attended Deer Valley. This was year 32 in attendance with it. There were 703 students that attended Deer Valley this year, 186 parents, and 56 different staff members through that course. It was very rewarding, very exciting, memorable, and for that I say thank you.
And thank you for
congratulations
going
with
for
that.
all 3 weeks. That was hard, so thank you.
It was a good time. It
I'm
was
sure.
a team effort, and when I think of Deer Valley, I think of community and how special it is. To see parents there that didn't think their kids or they themselves would have the opportunity to chaperone the trip was special. And this year, we had 7 parents that had children that were from the first class that ever went. So there were 7 parents that went 32 years ago as students. And the memories that they had as they came through the gate, again, something to behold and something to be treasured. And really, I can't thank you all for having that vision, Dr. Harris, and saying, no, we're going. It was a very good time.
Joe, you guys did a great, you and Ms. Bastian, coordinating that, planning it. It's kind of funny listening to Mr. Simpson, Mr. Sullivan. They were trying to get their hands in on the action, trying to get the planning and organization. And every time Jim said he tried to call you, he was like, you're like, no, I got this, don't worry about it. And so, I mean, you did a great job planning it, especially with throwing in 6th and 7th grade. It's a huge undertaking, and, you know, kudos to Mr. Simpson, Mr. Sullivan for, you know, facilitating that to help with those 6th and 7th graders going. It was a great experience, so.
No,
good job.
completely, and it does very much team effort with everyone involved. Appreciate the support that the middle schools did throw in there, because it did disrupt their buildings for a week while the 6th and 7th graders went, and with the accountability and staffing, it went very well. It was very rewarding, very well received, very positive, very positive.
I can make a comment about the community, watching when the unloading the trunks that had all the stuff for the kids brought, you know, the luggage and all. But seeing Dr. Harris, Mr. Ingles up there on there throwing stuff around, they were involved. Much appreciated. And I asked, do we have any trouble with kids crying that they missed their parents? And I was told there's only one kid that cried. It's one of the kids on the bus that didn't want to come home.
Yeah.
They had such a great time. So again, great job.
With that, when I say there were 56 staff members, that 56 staff members goes across K-12 as well as administrative, secretarial. Mr. Lega was up there. It touches everybody. So it isn't just when you think of the 5th grade staff or the 6th grade staff or the 7th grade staff. It truly is that team effort, that building friendships, building relationships, that are things that kids talk about, and kids enjoyed being outside. We did some different activities with the middle school students that won't be done again. Mr. Inglace and Mr. Simpson here rode their bikes around that lake. They were trekking 12 to 14 miles a day. We had staff that had walked 15 to 16 miles a day as well. And just things that you'll look back and reflect upon that it makes the community special. It truly does. And you know, everybody is very appreciative of it. So thank you.
Thank you. My turn for a Deer Valley comment. As you know, I've been there, I forget how many times, I didn't get to go this year, but I've been there quite a few times, and I'll tell you, it is a trip worth going on. What's the hill that you climb up there?
Mount Davis, the students climb to the peak up to Mount Davis, is what the 5th graders climb to. The 6th and 7th graders, they climbed to Mount Davis as well as rode around or walked around the entire lake, not once, but possibly twice.
I did a fair amount of that whenever I was up there. I forget how many times I went now, but it was a number. And it was a great experience.
Always a good time. Always a good time.
My son will be in 5th grade next year, and he already asked me to go.
Yeah, you gotta go. One of the highlights of being a board member, for sure.
And you won't regret it.
No. It was a great time. Good job, Joe.
No, thank you. It's a team effort. It took everybody. It truly took everybody.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Simpson, you have the middle school student of the month?
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Before I get moving up, Joe's not telling the whole truth. He's talking about team effort. He drove the bus on the whole thing, and with Miss Bastian. Without him, it would never got off the ground. And your support, everybody from a board perspective, administrative, but I don't want to let that go and let him, give off kudos to other folks when he drove the bus on the whole thing. So great job, Joe. I'm a pleasure to be your colleague. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but okay. All right, anyway.
I'm going to embrace that moment for now. Can we adjourn this meeting at that point? No. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Maddie, come on up, please. This is 8th grader Madeline Gavrish. She's our Penn Middle School November Student of the Month. She's the daughter of Bill and Karen Gavrish of Harrison City, and her younger sister Julia is over there. She's a 3rd grader at Harrison Park. Her parents share that Maddie, as everyone knows her, is an all-around great kid. She loves all things red, white, and blue, the American flag, and Jeeps. She's been swimming competitively since the 3rd grade and took part in the inaugural season of the Penn Trafford Middle School swim team this fall. She also made the True Lacrosse Pittsburgh travel team this past August. Last spring, she joined 4-H, participating in both rifle and trap shooting. She will continue to be part of the middle school girls lacrosse team, and when her season begins in March, In her rare free time from school and sports, she likes to bake, hang out with friends, hunt and fish with her dad, run 5Ks, and just recently ran a 5K with her mom. She's a member of the local Girl Scout troop, and this summer she traveled to Savannah with the troop to visit the original headquarters of the Girl Scouts. She currently serves also as the treasurer of our Penn Middle School Student Council. Collectively, her teachers report that Maddie always comes into class with a smile on her face and a great attitude. She participates in class with insightful comments and is willing to go the extra mile on projects. Her demeanor and personality makes her a great leader in Penn Middle School, and she creates an environment that teachers love. She's super positive, talented, and always strives to do her best. She's very helpful with her peers and eager to lend a hand. She earns excellent grades, and she's very conscientious about her work. She shows school spirit and encourages others to do the same. She's respectful to her teachers and goes out of the way to be polite. She adds to our school community and the community at large a great deal. And as student council treasurer, I work with her and the student council officers often, and we just came up with the idea for a student VIP room, which is an honors room that the kids will get to go to unsupervised during lunch to eat their lunch and have their time. So I could tell by the look on Maddie's face, this will see this to fruition. This is going to come out because she's behind it now. She's really goes after it. So all the staff and teachers agree that she is very deserving a winner of the Student of the Month. Congratulations.
Mr. Simpson, what else is happening at Penn Middle?
Okay, our clubs are back up and running. Our first club day was October 26th. Our next one is this Wednesday. Last Wednesday, in honor of Veterans Day, we had a veteran who was wounded in Iraq and lost a leg, Earl Granville, come, and he spoke to our students about perseverance and grit. It was a great assembly. Speaking of grit, we are having a grit week to honor our lost colleague, Jackie Landrum. Through positive events and the school dance, the staff and students are raising money to donate to the American Ovarian Cancer Society in her name. This Thursday, our core students will perform a mini concert to honor our veterans. This will take place during the school day. Friday is a professional development day. We'll be focusing on school safety and achievement data. And then on Wednesday, November 23rd, all school staff and students will participate in an intruder drill with our local police. Thank you, Chief Otto, and our emergency services observing. That's all. Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Thank you. And finally, for the Student of the Month, Dr. Horvath for the high school.
Okay, Keith, come on up. I told him in school that he was gonna be standing awkwardly in the middle of this, and I was gonna talk about him. He wasn't real happy about that. My Student of the Month is Keith Otto. He's a junior. He's the son of John and Tracy Otto of Level Green. Keith has a brother, Jacob, who's a senior here at Penn Trafford. Keith plays basketball, volleyball, and he's involved in several clubs. One of those clubs in particular, Student Council, is it's why we chose him, because the sponsor, this is the first time ever that someone came up to me and said, you need to pick this kid for Student of the Month because of this. Like, I didn't even have to think about it, I was told. But we had the homecoming dance here with over 1,000 kids that attended, and it went without a hitch. And Miss Martini, who's the sponsor of this event, said that if it wasn't for Keith, she would have lost her mind. She said that there were several times that things happened and she didn't even realize they happened until after it was done, and Keith fixed it. So that's why she decided that that should be my Student of the Month, and I agree. And then she went on to say that he's one of the friendliest, kindest, and most respectful young men I've ever met. He is pleasant, always smiling, always cheerful, always helpful. He's so mature and recognizes what needs to be done without asking, or goes above and beyond to help. He takes his grades seriously and also takes pride in his athletics. I know he's also dedicated to his faith, and his morals are right in place. So, nice job, Tracy and John. That sounds pretty good. Mr. Cosglow says that Keith is a respectful student. He's a joy to have in class, always participates, asks great questions, and that adds to the class discussion. Nurse Popovich, who is the leader of one of the other clubs that he's involved in, the Community Action Program, says that he recently participated in a great high school buddy for You've Got a Friend Day for kids with special needs at Twin Lakes Park. He frequently volunteers for the Jeanette Food Pantry, helping those with food insecurity. He is also a high school Big Buddy for our 3rd grade Big Buddy program. Keith is always willing to volunteer, help with different projects, and he's a thoughtful young man who has a true servant's heart. Mr. Edgerly, his history teacher, says, Keith has been enjoyable to have in class. He's attentive, well-mannered, and conversant beyond the class content. I look forward to the remainder of this year with him contributing to our U.S. history class conversations. Mrs. Wilby says Keith is polite, mature, considerate, and I seem to hear a theme here. That's what everyone has said. And he should be very proud of the good work that he's doing. And then Mrs. Palmer said, oh wow, great choice. That was the first thing she said. You're a wonderful student, always prepared for class, and always arrives with positive attitudes, and always says, good morning, Miss Palmer, Mrs. Palmer, which doesn't always happen up here when you come into the room. Always helpful with his peers and helpful with classmates. And I guess you had her last year too, right? She says she'll take you again next year if you'd like. And last, even your health and phys ed teacher says that you're an all-around great person, strong with your beliefs and your values, and you don't follow others, a natural leader. So there's a common theme again. So after reading these comments from his teachers, I'm positive that I made the right choice for Student of the Month. And I was thinking that since tomorrow's election day, maybe eventually you could take these leadership skills and I'll vote for you someday. What do you think?
Thank you.
So, Keith Otto, our Student of the Month.
I think this is the first student of the month Paul.
Yeah.
Congratulations, it's all good stuff, all those accolades are great, you stick with it, keep up the good work.
We're gonna take your picture now for the press and the, you can come over here. Scott, you okay with?
Got it.
I can tell. Absolutely. He even started you a little bit late.
If you ours at it together, it's almost.
Yeah, he hasn't said a thing. There should be. Dr. Horvath, now that we're done, can you also share what's going on at the high school? Do you have anything to share?
Yes, I guess.
What's not going on at the high school? Because I have a huge list as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll probably,
So anything you read, I'll take off mine.
okay. Well, we are continuing to work with Dr. Herring and Herring Seminars. That's gonna come up this in-service day, working on positive culture at the high school. And we finished up fall sports. We have one more left, actually, with the Tuesday's game tomorrow with field hockey plays in the state playoffs here at 5 o'clock. Our other teams had great success as well. And then we are also preparing for our first in-school club day that we're trying to expand our clubs in school, get more student involvement to create that positive culture in school. The big thing is to find your people somewhere. So we're having an in-school club day on Wednesday, November 16th. And we're gonna try to continue that, see how it goes.
What does
and
that
continue
mean?
that.
You will have something out there that all the clubs will be sponsors?
Any club that wanted to meet during the school day, because right now we don't do that. We meet if you're gonna be in a club, you meet after school. So a lot of kids don't have the transportation to be involved in a club because they can't get a ride home or, things like that. Or some kids are even involved in too many things. But we wanna do that in school so everybody has the opportunity to be a part of a club. So we're doing that on Wednesday the 16th.
Sounds good.
Do you plan on doing that throughout the school year on occasions?
We want to. I want to see how it goes. We have to, it's a lot of logistical, like where each kid's going to be and that kind of thing. Make sure.
Because a couple
everybody
kids
has-
have multiple clubs too. Is
Right.
that's correct too? So.
Right. I think we're gonna just choose one that day.
Choose one.
Choose one,
That makes
and then
sense.
but everybody has to be somewhere supervised. So to figure that out.
But they offer a lot at the high school. There's a lot going on at all the times with
Yeah.
everything.
We have
which is great.
32 clubs right now.
32 clubs.
We have
That's
tripled in
fantastic.
size.
A couple of other things I had information-wise, and it's all this, all the different schools, but a lot of it has to do with the high school because Mr. Hetrick kind of gave me an update. Mia Williams was the PIA States this weekend. She was Whipple tennis champion. Amelia Barillo is competing for the PIA cross-country championships this weekend. She finished 13th at Whipple. Nick Turkowski was a Whipple runner-up for boys golf state qualifier. Section champs for boys golf, girls volleyball, and field hockey. As Dr. Horvath mentioned, field hockey state's first round of state championship is here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Football finished their seasons. They made it to the playoffs, but they had a loss to Penn Richland on Friday. The boys and girls soccer both made it to the Ripples playoffs. The girls golf playoff team, Angelina D'Amico was the Ripple qualifier. The band competition, they scored the highest score they have ever received in the past. They're going to be going to Tennessee later this year. The concert percussion band will also have 3 different trips scheduled this year. That will be on the agenda for board approval for next week. This Wednesday at 6 o'clock, the concert band will have their yearly concert for veterans at the high school. Everyone is invited. They are taking up a collection for veterans in either personal care items or cash. So I think he's had about 7 years now, I think he said on the flyer. So he always does a nice show for that. So if you want to see a nice show, we're 6. I know the foundation is meeting right at 6. I saw that as soon as he invited us because I usually attend the veterans band, but I have to pass on it this year. The first 9 weeks has passed. Report cards were last week. It was hard to believe we made it through the first 9 weeks already. The in-service on Friday, they've already talked about the different topics throughout their presentations. Finally, the Drama Guild will have the Nutcracker on December 2nd and 3rd. I'll advertise it again next week because our December school board meeting is after the 2nd and 3rd, so I won't be able to advertise it in December. Jen Haberberger is doing 2 different things this year. It's a fundraiser prior to the night of the play. One is, and this is a very easy one to do, the schoolhouse is having a fundraiser, so if you go to Schoolhouse Tavern on the 16th, anywhere from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., let the server know you're there to support the Penn Trafford Drama Guild, and a percentage of your sales will go towards the play. So if you're able to go out and eat that night, all you have to do is go out and eat, and percentage goes towards the play. And also, they're having a Nutcracker party, and she said there's be spending the morning with the cast and the crew, playing games, doing crafts, and having fun. And that's on Saturday, November 19th. So if you're interested, look at the PT Drama Guild for information on that, or see your Take-Home Tuesdays. And it's kind of like I'm setting the stage for what's coming for the play. So I thought that was very good on her part. And finally, the Make-A-Wish Telethon will be on December 21st. We take it very seriously for the fundraiser every year. We do a great job of doing different things. I know they're doing like the Frosty Festival at McCullough. The teachers all do a donation throughout the district. We do letter writing campaign through Macy's. Each school does a different thing. I know Sunrise is something with the Grinch on the door, and I think it's Mary Lou, who different things. They all go around and do something different, but it's fun. It's just different ways of raising money for a great cause. And we're also getting acts where they actually come on and perform on the telethon. So it's a good day. A lot of people enjoy it. I like it myself. The administrators, we still have to come up with our act this year. Because we participate every year. So.
Do something.
Dr. Harris,
Yes.
you might want to mention that the board knows that we're taking proposals for a new track.
Yes.
So the track right now is about 10 or 12 years old, and it's end of life. So we are accepting proposals right now. We have 2 proposals from 2 different companies, so they're under consideration. But just so the public knows, we're looking to fine tune those a little bit over the next couple of weeks, and probably we'll have a recommendation to approve a contract either in December or January, so that we can get the contracts approved and get the order started, so we can get completed as soon as track season is over at the end of May. We get started and take a month or so to get it installed and be ready to go before the fall sports season starts in the summer.
And you had a good turnout at your trick or treat?
We did. We had, and Dr. Horvath was, do you know count by any chance?
Of how many
Trunk or
kids?
treat? I think we had 193 to 250 kids, they said.
At least, yes. And we-
That's at least signed up. We
Yeah,
just had a lot
I
that just
think
showed up.
we gave away more candy than that. I think there were more kids than that.
Yeah,
It was a solid line for hours.
Miss Pompey told me it was like 400.
About
Yes,
400.
I
I
think-
believe it.
I think there's at least 400. because-
My son enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Did he?
I appreciate Mr. Klein coming. It's always nice to see a school board member
we
there
came
and
up
a couple other
afterwards.
school board members stopped
Oh,
up, so.
okay. Did you get nerds from us?
What's that?
Did you get nerds?
Yeah, it was.
He walked away with a lot of candy.
Yeah.
It's a good night. It's funny. I know on top of that, I know they're planning other things for winter. So maybe next month I'll be able to add some more. So
Right.
they do a nice job down there.
They do.
And that's representing again the high school. So thank you. Next week, for our agenda. Sure.
Something real quick, Dr. Harris, just mentioning because it was quite an accomplishment. The girls volleyball team JV went undefeated this year, which I think is incredible. So congratulations to the girls and to the coaches for a fantastic season. It's a hard accomplishment. I just wanted to mention that. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Undefeated.
It was a great season, and it was nice. They actually had 2 different playoff games at home, which doesn't usually happen. So they got to have 2, so it was nice to see. And then they did a great job. They did. And then before you know it, boys' season starts
I know.
right around the corner. I mean, I saw kids out there running tonight before we came in. I said, "Oh, I guess they're getting ready for something."
Yeah, what sport was that? I saw them.
I was not sure because I know basketball.
It's usually wrestling. at that
Wrestling.
time.
Wrestling.
Oh, it was
Wrestling would be wrestling.
I would guess wrestling. Yeah.
Okay. They were running pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting ready.
Get it out of the way.
Good for them. That's good. All right, next week, we're gonna ask under athletics and extracurricular to employ winter athletic and extracurricular personnel for 22-23. There won't be any items under budget and finance, buildings and grounds and safety, employee relations, negotiations, transportation, or food service. Under personnel and curriculum, they're asked you to approve personnel agenda. Under policy, public relations, legislative Title II, give final approval to the board policy. There won't be any items under taxes, insurance, and census. Where are the band trips gonna go? Probably under number 5. Right, Brett, for the extracurricular?
Yeah,
They're not on here today, but I kind of talked about them after.
yeah,
the
that'd
fact.
be under number 5, yes.
So we're gonna ask you to approve those trips as well. We do not have any ones available tonight for recognition of visitors, so I'll go leave it back to Mr. President Dallas Leonard for adjournment.
Was there anything else that anybody on board would like to add or subtract from the date? Otherwise, if not, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Thank God, I'm not sure where it came from. Okay, we have a motion second on the